Domestic air travel is hurtling towards a crisis beginning January 5, and neither policymakers nor the public seem to grasp the gravity of the situation. January 5 is the date on which AT&T T and Verizon plan to commence operation of 5G cellular services, using frequencies approved by the Federal Communications Commission in 2020. However, the federal regulatory agency that oversees airlines has determined that cellular base stations generating the 5G signals near airports could impair radio altimeters used by pilots to determine how close they are to the ground. The Federal Aviation Administration issued an airworthiness directive earlier this month requiring that commercial and commuter aircraft cease relying on radio altimeters when operating in the presence of 5G interference. The directive takes effect January 4, the day before AT&T and Verizon activate their 5G networks, and if nothing changes, domestic air travel could be crippled. Radio altimeters play a critical role in enabling the safe operation of aircraft, especially when they are close to the ground but the ground cannot actually be seen by pilots. Like, for example, in bad weather or after nightfall. The Airworthiness Directive thus has the potential to disrupt up to 500,000 flights annually, forcing airlines to cancel or divert flights traveling to airports with nearby cellular towers when conditions dictate use of the altimeters. An aviation expert explained to me that if a radio altimeter is interfered with, it could result in bad data being propagated throughout the plane with potentially catastrophic consequences. The problem can be minimized by replacing existing altimeters, changing 5G frequencies, or reducing the power output of cellular base stations. Replacing altimeters on thousands of aircraft currently operating within U.S. airspace would take the better part of a decade. Changing the frequencies of AT&T and Verizon's 5G networks would be similarly difficult, although T-Mobile's 5G offering operates on a different, non-threatening part of the radio frequency spectrum. So, the only near-term solution to avoid the disruptions entailed by the Airworthiness Directive would be to turn down the power on certain base stations. The problem is less pronounced the farther aircraft are from the ground, because signal strength dissipates with distance. Unfortunately, the biggest airports and most heavily used approach paths are located near the biggest concentrations of base stations, because that's where the people are.